In this webinar, I'd like to talk about some fingerstyle connecting runs. These are runs that connect chords together. So if you're playing, for example, a G chord going to a C chord, rather than just playing the G and then just play the C chord, how you can play a run that would connect those chords together. Now, you can be playing these in class even if your students aren't learning them. You can use them in your own playing when you're not teaching the class. But even to throw them in the background while your class is playing, maybe strumming the chords and you play a run in between the chords, it's pretty exciting for the students to hear that. So this number one, is a run that connects a G chord to a C chord. What you do is you finger pick half the measure of the G chord, 2 beats of the G chord, with whichever finger pick pattern you're using. I'm using a Travis pattern, so I'll play 6, 2, 4, 3, then I'll play the A and C together, then I'll play the B and the D. The small numbers next to the notes tell you which left-hand finger to use. And then I play a whole measure of the C chord. So it sounds like this. I'll play it slowly first. If you heard that up to speed. So it's a nice little run that connects a G chord to a C chord. Could even be used to connect a G7 to a C chord. Now, on number 2, what I've done here is showing you how you can use the same run in reverse. So a C chord going back to a G. You've probably heard runs like that before, where you hear a finger picking accompaniment and then you hear the runs to connect the chords. So it's this again. Now, fingerstyle number 3 shows you how to do the same kind of a bass run or harmonized run, fingerstyle, to connect 2 chords together, but now it's in 3/4 time. So you don't have as much time to finger pick in the measure before you play the run. So it sounds like this. And then as soon as you hit the C chord, you go into a finger pick for 3/4 time, any one of the patterns for 3/4 times. So you have this, in place of playing the measure of G, which you might be finger picking like that, instead of finger picking the G chord, you play the run. It can be played even or it could swing. And again, that one can be played in reverse. Now, example number 4 shows you how to connect an A chord to a D chord. Same principle as when we did the G to C, but the A chord going to D, you finger pick half a measure of the A chord, 2 beats worth of A, then the B and the D together, and then move those fingers up 2 and 4 to get the C sharp and the E is played on the 2nd string and the 5th fret. So these are the notes that connect the chords together. So you have this. In slow motion, you'd have speeding it up. And again, that could be done in reverse. Now, number 5 shows you how to connect an E chord to an A. And this would also work for E7 to A, or an E or an E7 to an A minor. So you have half a measure of G to finger pick, 2 beats worth of E. Then you have to play F sharp and A, then a G sharp and a B, and the B is played on the 3rd string and the 4th fret. In slow motion. I'll give you an example of an E7 going to an A minor. So the E to A again. Example number 6 shows you how to connect a D chord to a G chord, and it could be a D7 to a G chord. You have half a measure of a D chord to finger pick, 4, 1, 3, 2, and then the notes. And those 8th notes there, the first 2 notes you play in the note portion of the run are right in the D chord, so you have this. The first 2 notes are right in the chord. Then fingers 1 and 2 on the D and the F sharp, move them down, then go to the G chord in slow motion. You speed that up. So you see, these are some nice little runs to connect chords together, and you can be finger picking behind the students, whether they're alternating bass or strumming or whatever they're playing, or just for your own enjoyment. If you're playing an accompaniment piece and you want to put the runs in, the music won't have these written in very often. You just have to know the runs that connect the chords together.